My town has a trans rights protest going on in May, but I am nervous to attend. I understand. I don't know if you're a trans person or a cis person, but either way, I understand being nervous to attend a protest if you haven't before. I was nervous the first couple of times I went to a protest. One thing that I will say, like protests, sometimes you see them on the news and it's like, this protest turned into a riot and the police were firing water cannons and kettling people and terrifying. I've never been in a protest like that and I'd be very scared too. But most protests aren't like that. Most protests are a bunch of people turning up, shouting some stuff, and then going home. And that might sound dismissive. It probably does sound dismissive. But I'm not intending to dismiss it. I think they're really powerful. I think probably the thing that protests do best is energizing people, making you feel part of a community. It's scary to go to a protest. And then when you go and there's like thousands of people there, and you look around and you're like, lots of people here aren't trans people. Lots of people here, there'll be someone holding a sign saying like, my daughter's trans and I support her rights or something. And you're like, there are so many normal people here and there's so much energy. And you might hear from speakers and there'll be trans people there who are stronger than I could ever imagine, telling of what it was like 20 years ago or 50 years ago. And, young trans people who are going through school at the moment and dealing with all this bullshit and still fucking smashing it at school and still being strong, confident people. Like it can just give you so much like warmth and energy and like community vibes. And I often feel like I go to a protest a bit nervous, a bit miserable, a bit angry, and then I come away feeling like energized and like supported. That's not going to be all protests, but I would say the trans rights protests and LGBT rights protests and feminist protests I've been to have generally left me feeling quite positive. And I think you can get a lot out of them. And also, not just for you, but like if you go along and you feel energized, that's good. But it's also good that you go along and other people see you there and they feel energized. Like you're helping other people by being there. If a protest goes from, if there's only 10 people and another person turns up, you have made it 10% bigger. But like, it's like the classic thing of if no one votes, then, everyone thinks, oh, well, what does my vote matter? It's only one vote. But like, if everyone thinks that, then no one will vote. It's the same with protests. Like, oh, what will it matter if I go to a protest? Like, if everyone thinks that, no one will go. The whole point is everyone needs to go. And by you going, you're like encouraging others to go. You're helping the trans people who are too nervous to go feel supported. Yeah, I think it is worth going to one. And you don't, if you're like still in the closet, you don't have to go and introduce yourself as trans. Or if you're stealth, you also don't have to go. You don't even have to go to the protest and be like, I'm part of this protest. You could just go to the general area and have a look and see what it's like. And you'll be like, oh, it's just a bunch of people standing around shouting, holding signs. Like, you don't have to bring a sign. You could just go and walk over to that general area and just kind of, maybe talk to someone. That's cool. No, everyone there is on your side. Everyone there is there for trans people.